The real reason France won't leave Niger exposed.
France has had a long and complex relationship with its former colonies in Africa, and the issue of French presence and influence on the continent has often been a topic of discussion and debate. One of the countries where France's interests are particularly prominent is Niger, a West African nation known for its vast reserves of uranium. The real reason France won't leave Niger exposed lies in its historical exploitation of African resources, particularly the uranium mines, and the ongoing economic interests that are deeply intertwined with French political and corporate elites.
Uranium exploitation.
Niger is the world's fourth largest producer of uranium, a mineral that is essential for nuclear power generation. France, with its significant reliance on nuclear energy, has a vested interest in maintaining access to cheap and abundant uranium resources. French energy companies, such as Orano, formerly known as Areva, have historically played a central role in Niger's uranium mining operations. These companies have benefited from favorable agreements and pricing structures that have allowed them to extract uranium at low costs, contributing to France's energy security.
Economic interests.
France's economic interests in Niger go beyond uranium. The country is rich in other natural resources like gold, coal, and oil, which are of interest to French companies and their investors. French corporations have established a strong presence in Niger's extractive industries, and any instability or political change that might jeopardize these interests is a source of concern for French economic elites.
Political influence.
France has maintained its political influence in Niger through a complex network of diplomatic and military ties. Niger has been a strategic partner for France in combating terrorism and ensuring regional stability in the Sahel region. French military bases in Niger, such as the one in Niamey, have been crucial for counter-terrorism efforts. The French government's interests in maintaining these military bases and its regional influence add another layer to its reluctance to leave Niger exposed.
Historical ties.
France's colonial legacy in Africa has left a lasting imprint on its relationship with former colonies like Niger. Historical ties, linguistic connections, and cultural links continue to shape political and economic relations. This history has created an intricate web of dependencies and mutual interests that make it challenging for both sides to easily disentangle from each other.
Regional strategy. Niger plays a pivotal role in France's broader regional strategy in West Africa. It serves as a gateway to the Sahel, a region plagued by instability, terrorism, and criminal networks. France views Niger as a crucial partner in its efforts to address security challenges in the region. This strategic importance further solidifies France's commitment to maintaining a presence in the country. In conclusion, the real reason France won't leave Niger exposed is deeply rooted in its historical exploitation of African resources, particularly uranium, and its ongoing economic interests tied to Niger's extractive industries. These interests are closely intertwined with French political and corporate elites, making it challenging for France to disengage from the country without jeopardizing its energy security, economic stability, political influence, and regional strategy in West Africa. While there may be ongoing debates about the ethical and geopolitical implications of this relationship, it is clear that France's interests in Niger run deep and complex. Investigative report on the relationship between President Macron and Areva. Executive summary. This investigative report delves into the intricate and controversial relationship between French President Emmanuel Macron and the multinational nuclear energy corporation, Areva. The report aims to shed light on the historical, economic, and political ties that have bound Macron and Areva, raising questions about potential conflicts of interest and the influence of corporate interests on French policy decisions. 2. Introduction. Areva, formerly known as Areva NP, is a prominent French multinational group specializing in nuclear power and renewable energy.
It is one of the world's leading nuclear power companies with interests in uranium mining, nuclear fuel production, and nuclear reactor construction. Emmanuel Macron, the president of France since 2017, has had a long-standing association with Areva, which has prompted allegations of undue influence and corporate favoritism.
This report investigates the various aspects of this relationship. 3. Historical context. Macron's early career. Macron's journey in politics began as an economic advisor to President François Hollande in 2012. During this time, he was closely involved in the government's nuclear energy policies, which had a significant impact on Areva interests. Areva's troubles. Areva faced severe financial difficulties and scandals in the late 2000s and early 2010s, including cost overruns in nuclear projects and a uranium mining controversy in Niger. The French government was compelled to intervene and restructure the company. 4. Economic ties. Macron's role in restructuring. As the Minister of Economy, Industry, and Digital Affairs from 2014 to 2016, Macron played a pivotal role in the restructuring of Areva. His policies aimed to rescue the company by splitting it into several entities, including Orano, formerly known as Areva NC, and Framatome, while retaining its strategic interests in nuclear power. Macron's pro-nuclear stance. Macron has consistently advocated for the importance of nuclear energy in France's energy mix. His government's support for nuclear energy aligns with Areva's interests in maintaining a significant role in the French nuclear sector. Political connections. Macron's political backing. Macron received political support from several individuals associated with Areva during his presidential campaign. This includes Gerard Mestrallet, the former chairman of Areva, and Anne Lauvergeon, Areva's former CEO. Influence on policy. Critics argue that Macron's policies, such as the reduction of France's nuclear energy reliance, have been influenced by Areva's interests and that his ties to the nuclear industry may have an impact on government decision-making. 6. Conflict of interest concerns. Public perception. The close relationship between Macron and Areva has raised concerns about potential conflicts of interest. Some believe that Macron's past association with the nuclear industry could hinder impartial policymaking. Transparency and accountability. Calls for greater transparency and accountability regarding Macron's ties to Areva have intensified, with demands for clear delineation between government decisions and corporate interests. 7. Conclusion. The relationship between President Macron and Areva is characterized by a complex interplay of historical connections, economic interests, and political associations. While Macron's policies and support for nuclear energy are consistent with Areva's interests, questions remain about the extent of corporate influence on governmental decisions. Transparency and accountability are crucial factors in ensuring that public trust in government integrity is maintained. This report underscores the need for ongoing scrutiny of Macron's relationship with Areva and its potential implications for French policymaking in the nuclear energy sector.